The way the pieces move is very sporadic. I mean, of course, there are rules of where they can or where they can't move, but what I need to tell you is that when it comes down to moving pieces, you just want to follow the general suggestion to bring them forward. When you can get to bring your pieces forward, they'll usually have a lot of space and room for action or activity. So how do we do that, essentially? First thing, you would like to have your pawn to go twice. Now, this is something new that we learned. Pawns can move twice. Yes, they can. The idea about pawns moving twice is that they can move twice out of their initial positions. And the reason why that's so important is because when we get to move the pawns twice, we can get to take some more space, some more squares for them, and that usually helps out big time. So don't forget it. Pawns need to move twice, in the start at least. Now, once that happens, we can try or achieve more. But yes, the other pieces get to develop. As the pieces get to move right behind the pawns and support them, we're going to get something very necessary for any successful game. That is space. Space in chess is what helps your pieces to have the mobility that they need so they can play, and thereby simply become stronger. I've always said that space is critical, so don't forget that. If you're ever wondering about how to get more space and possibilities for your pieces, you have to move or try to move your pieces a little bit more advanced and essentially make them stronger for as much as you can. Now, what else is there? Of course, the pieces cannot do anything just by moving up. Even if you try to follow the principle of bringing them as further as possible safely, there could still be a problem of some kind. So what you need to know is that besides just bringing your pieces, you need to make them work together. Now, this is especially important as an idea, so try to pay attention. How do we make the pieces to actually work together? The way to do this has to do with the possibility to combine them. For example, imagine a move like Queen d2. When the queen and the bishop are put together, what we realize is that now white can even jump up with his bishop up to h6. And then we realize that the queen and bishop are working together. That helps them big time. Not only because they're useful, but because they can support one another. So always start by that. Make your pieces work together, apply some pressure against your opponent, and thereby just make them good. Alright, now that is a good concept, but when are our pieces really creating threats? So something interesting here is that we're going to go for the bishop of black, and then it's not just going to be that bishop, but it's going to be the fact that after exchange is going to experience a problem. The dark squares are going to be rather weak, and then we can see that the pawn can move even forward once we castle. The important thing is the queen and the bishop are working together, which essentially brings what we call as coordination. Bringing the coordination is absolutely necessary, because when you get to bring over the coordination of the pieces, it could help you beautifully to set up the plan and make things work. Now, I would like to tell you, no matter what you're doing, no matter what you're thinking about, always focus your attention at the possibility to coordinate your pieces. Why? Because when you get to coordinate, when you get to connect them, things are going to be much better and much more important or appropriate. That is how you'd like to do it. That's how you'd like to think about it. And of course, it's just like this little idea in case black advances, maybe we can develop. Remember that development is just as important. So of course, connecting a couple pieces doesn't mean anything. We have to know that there's a lot more. But yeah, this is just a little idea so you can remember how to think and how to understand the different possibilities for each force. So that is a good thing.